If you have nothing to show off, is it an achievement, good looks, or an interesting life? If you lack all of these things, how do people act confident? Story 1. You do not have to have something to show off to feel confident. You can be proud of not being a complete failure. Story 2. Fake it until you make it, seriously. Confidence will help attract some of the things you mention, so build your way to real confidence. Just don't be arrogant. You can be confident and humble. Story 3. You build confidence by creating proof that you are confident. Do challenging things and follow through on what you tell yourself. I would argue that this is 90% of the way. Story 4. I used to have this issue. I was ashamed of myself and could not bring myself to have many social interactions because everyone would see I was a loser. It took me a long time working on the things about myself and my life that I was ashamed of to be able to feel good about myself. No therapy or telling myself I was good enough or that everyone has struggles had any effect on my self-esteem. If you want to be confident, figure out what would make you feel more confident and put work into doing that. Whether it is your appearance, your dead-end job, or your lack of relatable interests. Whatever it is, you should figure out how to improve those things in your life because you will feel better and people will like you more. Story 5. If you are not skilled, stop pretending. The idea of fake it till you make it and it's within is misleading. You can have all the confidence in the world, but if you lack ability, your confidence will make you appear self-absorbed and incompetent. If you want to be confident, become someone who deserves to be. Work at your skills, it takes time. Story 6. Eventually, you will learn that having a strong work ethic and resilience is the essence of where pride and confidence come from. Achievements along the way are great, but they are the cherry on top of living a life of good principles. Story 7. Confidence comes from competence. You are not confident because you have no reason to feel confident, and it sounds like you are looking for a quick fix, but there is none. You need to accept yourself where you are and acknowledge that life is a marathon, not a sprint. It will take a conscious effort to feel confident. You need to get good at something, become self-reliant, and figure out who you truly are in the process, not who you think people want you to be, but who you truly are at your core. That takes a lot of work and self-reflection. Once you know who you are and you are on your mission and purpose in life, and you have confidence in your skills and ability to provide for yourself and others as a man, then you will start to feel confident. Story 8. Someone who does not have confidence has probably been through a lot. Look back on some of those hardships and tell yourself that you did it. You made it here and jumped through those hurdles. Find things you care about and make small goals toward a much larger goal so that you can be proud of the progress you made. Story 9. Whose definition of something to be confident about are you using? If you are relying on the opinions of others, you will be on a long, futile journey that will inevitably take a toll on your self-esteem. Real confidence comes from being happy with yourself, not the things you have. Many people who you would assume have every reason to be confident are not. Story 10. I have been trying to figure this out my whole life since I am very nihilistic and lack confidence. They really do just fake it. They are actually figuring things out on the fly and doing it well. How can I and others do the same thing? I am not really sure. I haven't figured that part out. Story 11. You can be confident about anything. There is nothing to be unsure of. You have a loser mentality. Change that and you will start being confident. Story 12. Start working out. It is one of the easiest ways to build confidence. You will start to feel better and stronger, and over time you will start to look better. Even if it is push-ups every morning or every night, be consistent and watch how things change. Story 13. Confidence is not about logically connecting it to something just so you can be confident. There are literally 5-year-olds who have incredible confidence. Do they connect it to a life achievement or good looks? No, because they don't even know what those mean. Confidence is simply being okay with what you have. You can always gain achievements, muscle mass, and an even more interesting personality. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that it comes from within. All of the social norms and media just brainwash us to create insecurities. In reality, we truly are enough and worthy of being loved and respected. Story 14. Confidence is not about showing off. It is about knowing who you are, what you want out of life, and being able to act on that knowledge in a constructive way, or knowing how to avoid acting when it would not have the intended effect. Confidence also serves as a foundation for dealing with the inevitable events when things go wrong. Showing off is about ego, not confidence. Story 15. Confidence comes from taking action. Those who do nothing will either lack confidence or develop arrogance as a coping mechanism. Start by trying a new activity that involves going somewhere and interacting with people. Choose the class that seems most compatible with you at the nearest gym. Story 16. Start by raising self-esteem. An individual has to believe that they are unique and bring something equally unique to the table before any real confidence can be developed. I am of the philosophy that believes everyone, no matter how big or small, is unique in their identity and has innate qualities that are just waiting to be acknowledged and utilized. The journey to discovering such qualities is lengthy, and it may take a person their entire life to find themselves. The immediate concern is to not let youthful angst overwhelm and demoralize the individual into pessimism. This is often the case with many boys. They are quick to despair because they do not fit the image they envision for themselves. You will never get anywhere until you learn to love yourself for who you are. Only then will you truly begin to grow as a person. Story 17. Just start trying things. Begin with something that interests you the most and work your way up the list. Story 18. Confidence is not something anyone is born with, and it is definitely not about your looks or accomplishments. Confidence is something you build for yourself through your struggles and determination to develop your character. Many men who lack confidence have low self-esteem. I have seen it many times, people diminishing their accomplishments because of low self-esteem and low confidence, ruining their lives and sinking deeper into despair and insecurity. It is sad but quite common, especially in the current generation of young men. It is like in video games. The hero's journey involves practice and training. You get out there and level up slowly, and before you know it, you are defeating big monsters. By that point, you may not even realize how much your confidence has increased because you stayed committed to self-improvement and growth. That is how it works in real life. You might not notice the progress while you are working and striving for it. Hit the gym, train yourself, practice what you want to improve, stay positive and optimistic, and commit to your goals by starting small and taking baby steps. Recognize that you can grow from feeling like a zero to becoming a hero. If you do not have anything to be confident about, create something, do something, build something. I have done many things I never thought I could do, and it all started with my attitude. You likely have plenty of accomplishments to be proud of and confident about, but low self-esteem may be holding you back. Acknowledge this and work on it before despair and insecurity trap you. Story 19. I told my sons to stop worrying about their 15-year-old selves and start focusing on their 25-year-old selves. Just start doing something interesting. I am retired now and began learning the piano a year ago. I played at my mother's nursing home a few weeks ago. One son learned landscaping, so he has a beautiful yard and enjoys talking about plants with people. My other son loves being physically active and often talks about muscles I have only vaguely heard of. Choose something. Don't worry about today. Worry about a few years from now. It will happen. Story 20. Confidence is not directly linked to how good someone is at things or what they have achieved. I have met plenty of people, men and women, who had a lot of confidence and definitely did not have anything to show off. I wish people could not be confident unless they had a reason to be. Honestly, you just sound depressed. It might also be attention deficit hyperactivity disorder if you cannot focus long enough to read a book. I suspect you would feel exactly the same about yourself even if you were great at something. If you can, talk to a doctor about all of this. If you cannot talk to a doctor, then try to find videos about building self-confidence. Fake it till you make it sounds dumb, but it does actually work. If you tell yourself that you are smart every single day, even though you do not believe it, you will start believing it eventually. I'm sorry you are feeling this way. You can turn things around. Good luck. Story 21. Look at most politicians and other famous people. Most do not do anything to be confident about, and yet they parade around like it is their birthday. Story 22. Original poster, all you are doing is telling people you cannot do it when they are giving you advice. What was the point of asking if you were just going to say you cannot? Story 23. A lot of self-confidence stems from self-love, not in a narcissistic way, of course. When you feel comfortable in your own skin and don't shy away from being your true self, regardless of what others think, it makes a big difference. Another important thing is to challenge yourself and step out of your comfort zone within reason. Everything you have listed below are great activities to incorporate into your life, such as going to the gym and getting fit, cooking, learning languages, reading, and kickboxing. However, you need consistency and perseverance. Real change never happens overnight, and without change, there is no progress. Remember that. That being said, as a man, you should understand that your life will heavily revolve around self-discipline until the day you die. To conquer yourself and the challenges in life, including becoming more self-confident, you must show up for yourself and do things you might not always like. Even when you are feeling down, when it is raining, windy, or cold outside, or when you are not motivated. Stop breaking promises to yourself. I really appreciate the comments of Service of Man. He knows what he is talking about. Story 24. Offer help to strangers carrying their bags or other items. You will gain confidence as they smile and thank you for your kindness. Story 25. Hey, let me break it down for you. Trust me, this is not as hard as you think. Confidence isn't about having something to show off. It's about how you show up for yourself. Even if you feel you have nothing, you still have your thoughts, your effort, your kindness, and your resilience. Being kind to yourself can be a starting point. Start small. Keep promises to yourself, speak kindly to yourself, and stand tall. Confidence grows not from perfection, but from self-respect. Everyone starts somewhere. Good luck. You will succeed and grow as a confident person. Story 26. A little confused by this. Are you assuming that in order to be confident, you need to have a certain look? I would disagree. There are many men who are extremely confident but are not muscular, buff, or gym enthusiasts. Confidence comes from within. It is what you project to others. You do not need to be physically attractive to be confident. Personality, knowledge, and good old-fashioned manners are enough to project a positive persona and confidence. Can you hold a conversation? Can you keep your phone out of your hands long enough to acknowledge the person in front of you? All of this projects confidence. Story 27. You should accurately assess yourself. If you find yourself lacking in an area in which you wish to have more ability, you should learn that skill. Skills are developed over time with education and practice. Then reevaluate. The problem arises when you inaccurately assess yourself. That is where you get inferiority complexes or superiority complexes. You are what you are, and you can be what you want to be. It is that simple. Invest in yourself. Story 28. Pick something you can probably do, but that seems hard. Do it. Repeat. You gain confidence by achieving victories. Start small. Your ambition will grow with success. Story 29. Do something you can be proud of. It does not take long to learn a skill, a trade, a magic trick, or whatever. Story 30. For me, lift weights and fake it until you have something to feel confident about. I have always had confidence issues for similar reasons. I just try to fake it when I need to be confident. Story 31. I am not confident because I am good at many things. I have a lot of areas where I struggle. I experience imposter syndrome frequently. I am a bad student, not a great girlfriend, and I do not have many goals for my life. However, I was taught from a very young age that I have inherent value because I am alive and because I am kind and simply who I am. My worth does not come from my achievements but from just being myself and not being a criminal, mean, or bad person. If you want some achievements, then set some goals and achieve them. They do not have to be huge. I recently lifted more weight than I ever have before. So now being strong is an achievement of mine that makes me more confident. Story 32. Confidence is not tied to skills, achievements, or anything you can simply do. It is completely in your mind. You can be the worst person in every regard and still be full of confidence, or you can lead a life of achievements and feel like a total failure. Story 33. Confidence is not about needing a reason to feel superior. It is about not listening to the instinct telling you that you need to feel inferior. Story 34. Your DNA is the latest and greatest product of billions of years of continuous evolution. You have an undefeated line of ancestors who managed to survive and reproduce, from humans all the way to microbes. Since your birth, your experiences and interactions with your environment have led to epigenetic expressions unique and specialized to you. You are better prepared to handle your circumstances than anyone before or after you. If you can't do it, no one can. Story 35. Since Reddit keeps giving me these old topics, I'm going to respond in case someone reads this and finds it useful. Maybe a bit of spite as well. Confidence is gained through experience, repeated iterations, and refinement of the process until you reach your goals. Confidence means trusting your skills and experiences to take you closer to your intended goal, not any achievement that comes from applying those skills. You trust yourself to get it done, figuring it out along the way, or, if all else fails, walking away knowing you gave it your very best shot. That's what confidence is. Not, hey, look at this achievement I have. Sure, you can derive value or pride from your achievement, but that doesn't magically create confidence by itself. If you want to become confident in some area, you have to get out there, apply yourself, and figure out what your goal is. Then acquire the skills necessary to get there. You will fail and probably fall flat on your face several times. But if you get up, figure out what went wrong, improve upon it, and try again, you have gained trust in your ability to handle that particular challenge better next time. You now have a little more confidence. Personally, I believe this is why people often say fake it till you make it. Because in faking something and trying to figure out how things work, you keep grinding and gain experience and skills, which often leads to actual confidence. With that said, the fake it till you make it mentality has its downsides, with imposter syndrome probably being the worst. It's just easier to say than keep chipping away at the challenge at hand until you trust your skills enough to feel confident about reaching your intended goal. Story 36. Why do you have to be confident only about things you show off? Most things I am confident about people do not see or know about. Also, with confidence you can act confident and then you will gain confidence. Fake it till you make it. Do not act arrogant, though. I do not think you should fake confidence all the time. Maybe someone in the comments will be able to explain my thought better. Story 37. Start small and always keep pushing a bit more. Consistency leads to progress, which leads to results, which leads to confidence. Could be anything. Drawing, running, lifting, bowling, or more. Start doing something you are interested in, invest in it by doing it consistently, get better, and you will be fine. Story 38. As others have pointed out, your answer is in the question. Find something that you can work at, even if you are not good at it initially, and build skill in it. Then you will be confident in it. This is a critical lesson I have learned in life and teach to children and new adults who come into wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You have stepped onto a mat to try something new that is hard and that you will get beat at repeatedly. By doing so, you have now done something 98% of the rest of the world will never do. Be proud of that. Whether it is martial arts, painting, music, programming, crafting skill, or anything else, the sheer act of doing and failing should make you proud. Best of luck. Story 39. Find something that you enjoy and would like to talk about. Share it with others. Learn to juggle, host friends for games or movies, get a puppy, and take it to the park. Story 40. Start achieving short-term goals, then mid-term goals, then long-term goals, whatever makes you feel happy and fulfilled. It will show up in your confidence. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.